morning, everyone. It's almost the lunchtime here. It's about 11:37 in the morning. It's the 18th of December 2020. This is our quad witch day. We got some interesting things happening in the market. I want to take a look at the SP 500. I want to take a look at NASDAQ. I also want to take a look at Russell 2000 by way of IWM. So I usually don't pay attention to IWM. Sacred Order on our Discord server has asked me to take a look at that. So I'd like to document what I believe that I see there. But of course, if there's anything that you would like for me to take a look at, if you are in the YouTube chat, just throw something in there. I'd be more than happy to take a look at something for you. And of course, it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. Just my opinion on the market here. And let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. Made some changes to my screen here, so let's just see. All right, we look okay there. I'm just gonna move this guy out just a little bit so that we've got good view here. All right, so we've got our S&P. In my estimation, we've got a little 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. We've got the 4, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3. We're working on an ending diagonal, and it looks like we have kind of an ending diagonal in here as well. So I kind of want to talk really about what we are completing here to complete this 5, which actually is the completion of potentially this wave 3. Then we go back for wave 4, and then we continue higher, right? So I do think that we're getting close to finishing a move here. And so I just want to kind of dig into this just a little bit. So I want to take a look really just at this guy right here. The first thing I want to take a look at, and we're going to see this as we dig into the IWM as well, something that I've noticed over there. So kind of going off of this low, I'm going to try and get this as close as I can right here. Working our way, pulling this guy out, and then kind of expanding this guy to the upside. Let me just go ahead and expand it a little bit like that. All right, so from the yellow to the green, this is our channel. We've got our support here. Then we've got really where we're at right now is a supportive support right here. What I think is going to happen, and we talked about this all the way back here where we were going to have a little bit of a waterfall, and we kind of had that. But what I think is going to happen is, you can see we've got a trend line here from all the way back here on September 2nd, and then this touch up here on November 9th. You can see right here we kind of went up above and we fell. I think that's exactly what's going to happen again. This is really what I think is going to happen going into Christmas. All right, so Christmas is right here. Then I think we fall, we go down. No, watch. This is what I think is going to happen. Would make a whole lot of sense for this to happen. All right, so I'm going to keep this on here because I think this is what is going to happen. I think we are in the middle of an ending diagonal, and that's going to be basically this last wave, which is so far going in 5 waves. So from here, we've got our little 1, 2, 3, 4, and diagonals can overlap, and then we've got our 5 right there to finish, right before Christmas, to finish this move, finishing this guy, which I actually probably should increase the degree on that guy right there. I'm going to change the colors. Okay, the colors all right to finish this wave 3, and from there I think we go down and we do this this correction here to finish this. Now this right here, this is our level. Gosh, I've got way too many lines on here. It makes it really hard to read, so I apologize for that. But this is going to be our level of invalidation. All right, so let's just put some text on there. Invalidation level. So this is going to be our bullish invalidation level right here. We can't go below that, and that's going to be at 35.41. If you're looking at SPY, about 354, 354.50, somewhere in there. This is our invalidation level. We cannot go below that. So I believe that it is very possible for us to get a little bit of this, we'll call it a Santa rally, whatever you want to call it, going up here right before Christmas, then we fall. Okay, so we've seen this happen in prior years where we do get a little bit of a pullback, around Christmas time, between Christmas and New Year's, whatever it may be. I think that we do get a little bit of a pullback. But for us to touch this, now look at this trend line, this white trend line here. I'm going to remove the channel because we can see we've got our resistance up there. That's at 376, 37.62 on ES. Just Pay attention to that guy, and then the expansion down here to the downside for wave 4. Maybe we do find our way all the way down here to retest this. It's very possible. But so we've got that on there. But now watch. This is important. So we've got this touch. We've got this touch. We had some resistance here, and then a bull trap right here, a bull trap in the making to do a bit of a pullback. And that's, in terms of the index, I mean, this is, 4.3%. That's a significant pullback, right? It's a significant pullback. I think that, again, what we're in the middle of is a nice finishing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we pull up this 5, and then we get this this significant pullback here. Now, how high is this going to go? I'm really not sure. Maybe it just goes a teeny bit over, just like it did back here on December 9th, but we do a little bit of a pullback. This is why I've got a lot of cash, right? So I was talking to everybody on the Discord just a few days ago. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of my portfolio into cash. So I think at the time I got into about 80% cash. We had some good plays even in the last day. Even today we've had some really good plays. But anyway, that's what I think is happening here. All right, so that's what I think on the S&P. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ again historically has been weaker than the S&P. Right, it's looked weaker than the S&P. And again, looking at this guy, we got really close to our upside target. Okay, what I think is actually completed here. Obviously, you can see we haven't touched this in a while. I think we've got our wave 3. We're working on wave 4. Then we go up for wave 5. We've been talking for, since all the way back here, we've been talking about this trend line as being important resistance. So let me just zoom out so you can see where this is coming from. Okay. So right here, we talk about expansion ranges. Okay, so we had this upper here, this upper here, this lower down here. We had our resistance right here. We had our clustering, our correction right here. This looks it looks fantastic. So our expansion to the upside was sitting up here. It's been here this whole time, and we got pretty close to it. And now we're starting to see a little bit of a pullback, but I still think we're going to try and poke our way through there, right? I still think we're going to get ourselves up here. We're going to find our way up there, okay? So I don't see any reason to be alarmed by this. If this is a 1, 2, what I see on a subdivision level, I see a 1, look at this, A, B, C, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. Maybe we actually go higher. Maybe we go higher than this. Maybe this is a 3, 4, 5 to put ourselves into the 3 up here, and then we go deeper for the 4, which would make a little bit more sense. This would make sense. We go a little bit deeper for the 4, and then we finish this 5. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and favor this scenario now. This 5, again, looking to take ourselves potentially to a double top, looking still around Christmas, the 3. Where do we go for the 4? We look for that 382 in wave 4. So pulling ourselves from down here, taking ourselves up there to the top. That 382 is going to be right there. It's sitting there at about, let's see here. Yeah, about down here, 12.5. And then we see ourselves to this target up here, which is still going to be looking right around 13. And maybe it doesn't happen before the end of the new year, or sorry, before the end of this year, but I can still see this this as a good scenario for a move down. So we've got this 3, work on the 4, take ourselves up to the 5. I'd really like to see this 5 go all the way up here to about 12.8. 12.8. If it goes up to 12.8, we do that pullback. We do that pullback to about right here, and then actually we could probably find ourselves a little bit higher. Either way, this is still looking pretty good and looking to start to finish this move, right? Start to finish this move, and then we can see where we go from there. But I do have to be a little bit more bullish on NASDAQ only because it has been weaker, and I know that sounds very contradictory, but NASDAQ holds a lot of stocks that I think have a lot more room to go. So this trade is almost done. This trade's almost done. This was a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. It looks okay. It looks all right. I don't see any reason why this is needing to be bearish. Now let's take a look at our friend IWM. All right, this guy, man, he just keeps going. He just keeps going. But I think he's almost done. I actually do. So let me go to my other chart over here because I've got a nice little channel on here that I want to focus on. So first off, let's just go ahead and remove the indicators. Let's go ahead and zoom out on this. We're going to zoom out all the way back to March. All right, so from here, we've got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, a little ABC into the 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, ABC into the 2. So we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. So from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe this isn't the count. Maybe this is actually the 3 still being put in all the way up here. It's very possible. But I still am a little partial to this. It still looks okay. I can take this guy, I can pull him back further if I wanted to. And actually, if I do this, let's go ahead and see if I can extend the lines left just to see if, yeah, I don't have anything over there that is that's important. So yeah, let's just disregard that. But this channel that we're in up here, I'm building this guy based off of this pivot up here, this pivot right here, this pivot down here. It still looks good. We've got nice support here at the median, support here at the median, resistance here at the median, resistance here at the median. So in my opinion, IWM, and again, this is the ETF for the Russell 2000, we are at a point here where we are approaching significant resistance. I'm not ready to say that that move is done yet, but what I can say is if it does break above this, again, this is something that we've been preaching. If it breaks up above this, it expands. It expands. So upside target for there would be over 200, 205. 205, maybe 206, depending on how long it takes. Christmas time, could this guy make its way all the way up here and expand itself up to 206? I mean, that's very, very possible. Here's the deal. Okay? What can I see on this chart that would let me know that this is almost done? Well, it looks like it's, as far as our indicator goes, it's very, very, very overbought. But there's no sign of a reversal yet. And okay, I'm going to tell you guys something that we talk about this, pretty frequently. We talk about this kind of stuff. All right? What can we see right here? So let me just go ahead and just highlight this guy right here. This is a cluster of a correction. This is a corrective cluster. Either it's reaccumulation or it's a correction. This is important. This little guy right here is very important to us. So what do? I'm going to take my line and I'm going to say, all right, well, this level right here, this is important support. Now, we reclaim this as support. This is important support. All right, I'm going to move that guy all the way over to the right. Important support right there. We have more important support to pay attention to, and that's going to be this guy right down here. Right here, this is also important support down here. Prior resistance, it was the bottom of our consolidation level. Zoom out a little bit. This right here, although we don't really have a retest, this is important support right here. Let me just pull that guy out. That is also important support. We're just going to pull these out because all these guys are going to act as support on the way down, and we will have an on the way down moment. But for right now, I mean, we could pull back to right here at 195.22 and still be okay, because really this is also important support. Next level of important support is going to be this level right down here. Okay, so just take a look at this. Where we had prior resistance, and significant, I mean, this was an obvious pivot here. We broke up above, and then we tested this. This is important support. All right, looking left, we've got this cluster right here. We've got this gap to tend to. Will that gap get filled? Yeah, it'll get filled at some point, but that does not mean that you should be shorting the market right here, because it still looks okay, right? I have no reason to short IWM right now. Until we start breaking down, like honestly, this level right here, that's going to be that first level, 195.18. If we close an hourly below that, that's going to be your first sign that things might be pivoting. Until then, we just have, we just have healthy pullbacks. Healthy pullbacks. This still looks fine. This still looks fine. Now, would I get calls up here? No. Would I buy IWM up here? No. And not if I'm not already in it, right? There's not a good trade setup here at all. And if you say there is, then you are literally a scalper, right? This is not anything that I would hold for more than, a few hours to a day. On a pullback to 195, well, at least you have some basis for buying. But are you going to pull a trade from 197 to 206? I mean, what kind of return is that? To 206? That's what, 5%? I mean, that's not terrible, but where are you managing your risk up here? If you're going to buy down here on a pullback there, you could easily manage your risk right here. Give yourself 1.2% to take this guy potentially up to 206, 5% with a 1.1% risk. Manage your risk there at the prior important support. Like we have unconfirmed support here. So if we get back down there, well then yeah, you can at least manage your risk a little bit and you can pull out. And again, this may take all the way, maybe even to the end of the year. I doubt based on this price action, because we are literally moving at a very, very, very specific angle. All right, if you haven't noticed, this angle is just moving at this degree, and it's not changing. Now, if we break up above that, then yeah, we can rip real quick. But this could take, a couple weeks for this kind of a trade to take place. Would I short this? No. Would I long this? No. Would I buy here? No. I'm just giving you a little bit of analysis, assuming that you're already in. I do know that there are some people on the server that are interested in this, that are already in this. So I'm doing this for you just to kind of let you know what my bias is right now. I'm not bearish. I mean, I have no reason to be bearish right now. We literally hit an all-time high at the open today. So at least I believe we did. Yes, we did. I have no reason to be bearish on IWM right now. There's no reason to be bearish. Not until we start taking out some of these support levels. The first level at 195.18, closing an hourly below that, that's going to be your first sign. Your confirmation is going to be an hourly close below 192. At this case, what I would be looking for is I'd be looking to short spikes. If we come all the way down here to 193 and then we get up here to 195, that would be an area to short. Ride that down, right? But don't try and catch tops. People get ruined all the time trying to catch tops. No reason to do that. No reason to risk your money on something that is unconfirmed. Something that looks not extremely bullish, but this looks bullish right now. Just because this is quad witch does not mean that the market's going to fall. I was very cautious on my S&P holdings. I was very cautious on my NASDAQ holdings. I don't trade IWM. Maybe I'll start paying attention to it, but I have no reason to be bearish right now on this guy. Okay, that's all I've got for right now. I don't have any comments in the YouTube to give me any any questions or any assets to take a look at. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video. 20 minutes in. If you want access to our Discord, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, a good night, and a good evening.